Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. It is lovely to see you today. I hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Sophie, and thank you so much for your subscription. If you are returning, welcome back, and good to see you. Today I am using the absolutely beautiful Couture Tarot deck. I got this as a gift from my mommy. I saw it actually on an ad on YouTube. I was like, what? Couture Tarot? Yes, please. That is definitely a combo. Two of my favorite things. The artist is Megan Skinner, and I believe she is she writes for fashion, but she also loves tarot, so she created a fantastically beautiful deck of which we are using today. I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions. Please consult a professional for those matters. My basic menu of readings is pinned at the bottom of the chat there. My first basic option is my mini reading, which consists of 5 cards. It is one question, and it is a donation of $7.77. If you donate using PayPal or Cashapp, I'm temporarily not able to use Venmo right now. I will let y'all know when Venmo's back up and running. If you need to use SuperChat, it is $9.99. And then I offer my full reading. Highly recommend that. That consists of 10 cards, and it can be one question or split into 2 5-card readings, and that is $14.14 unless you need to use SuperChat, which is $20.20. And then finally, I offer my in-depth expanded reading, which is 15 cards. It can be just one deep dive reading. It can be split into one 10-card, one 5, or split into 3 5-card readings. And that is a donation amount of $21.21 unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $29.29. I answer all sorts of questions. They really run the gamut. But I primarily, I'd say the predominant amount of questions that I answer would be of the romantic nature. Love, romance, interpersonal relationships. And I have a lot of clients that come to me and ask, how does so-and-so feel about me, or what are so-and-so's energies towards me? What are their intentions? For that, I always recommend my love spread that I developed many moons ago. And that it's at no additional donation amount, and it essentially answers not just 3 but 5 questions in one. It answers what their current thoughts are towards you, their current feelings, and their current intentions, as well as their general energies towards the connection and your general energies towards the connection. And that can be done using a mini, a full, or an in-depth reading. And it doesn't have to be of a romantic nature. I've done my love spread or TFI spread, whatever you want to call it. I've done it for people's friends, neighbors, coworkers, pets, pretty much anyone that you are just curious as to how they regard you. I highly recommend that reading. And then also on the topic of love, this is a no twin flames channel. I do not subscribe to the twin flames theory. No tea, no shade to anyone out there who does. However, I do believe in soulmates, absolutely. We have many soulmates in this life. Not all of them are romantic, but we do have many romantic partners in this life, romantic soulmate potentials. So I highly recommend this reading for those of you who are currently in a connection and are wondering if you guys are soulmates. It doesn't necessarily have to be of a romantic nature, but it is pretty self-explanatory. We can ask the question in one of 2 ways. first way we can ask it is I just directly ask your angels, messengers, and spirit guides if the person in question is indeed a soulmate of yours, and if the answer is yes, they'll explain why and in what context, and if the answer is no, they'll explain why not. Alternatively, we can also ask the question, we can always ask your angels, messengers, and spirit guides if they give their divinely ordained blessing towards this connection. And if the answer is yes, that is for sure a soulmate, romantic soulmate confirmation. So yeah, highly recommend that reading. It consists of 10 cards, and it's a donation amount of $16.16, unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $23.23. And then I also offer past life regression readings. I've been studying past life regression therapy since I was a child, and the way that I learned it, the modality that I would utilize it was through guided meditation or hypnosis. But a couple of years into my professional tarot reading experience, I realized that I was channeling people's past lives in a lot of people's readings. Oftentimes when people would ask for a question, when they would ask the question like, how does spirit regard, or like what messages does spirit have for me, general messages from one's angels, messengers, and spirit guides, and I was channeling past lives, and knowing that I can do that is very powerful. Now that I have that knowledge, I offer it as its own independent service, and it is breathtakingly just so comprehensive and fascinating and very introspectively fascinating, to learn more about and discover one's soul's tapestry, essentially. And it can be asked with any intention. It can be we can ask a great question is, please illustrate a past life of mine that will help me navigate the challenges in this life, or illustrate the past life of mine that explains my irrational fear of A, B, C, and D. Illustrate a past life of mine in which I was connected to my soulmate. There's no limitation to the intention when it comes to past life regression readings. So yeah, I am always very honored to offer those, and they're endlessly fascinating. I am that was weird. Sorry, one sec. I also offer mediumship readings. I am a psychic medium. I can communicate with those who have passed on. If that is something that you are indeed interested in, please let me know. I am always deeply honored to read to communicate with one's loved one who is no longer here. I do need I do ask before sending your donation, their name, their date of birth, their date of passing, and their relation to you. It's super helpful if you can provide me with a photograph of them, but it's not mandatory. But it does help me get into communication with them better, but it isn't necessary. And that is a donation amount of $35.35, unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $50.50. And then I also offer private readings. I offer two different types of private readings. The first one that I offer is by appointment only, and it offers privacy. It's one-on-one. It's just me and you. It's over Zoom. It's everything that you're seeing here. You see the cards. You see me. Hear me. I can see. Well, if you don't want me to see you, you can turn off your camera, but I can hear you. It's just back and forth. We can talk with one another. You can give me all the context and backstory that you need. There's no limitation to the number of questions that we can ask. And yeah, so it offers that convenience, that privacy, discretion, and um, I highly recommend private readings, especially if you're going through something that is particularly multifaceted, has a lot of questions attached to it. We can really go deep, and as I mentioned, there's no limitation to the number of questions we can answer, so long as it's within the allotted time. Um, and then I also offer private readings at no additional donation amount. If you just send me your donation with your question, I can answer it for you. Within 1 to 3 hours, and I do those over voice memos, over DMs on Instagram, or I do them typed over email, whichever you prefer. And that offers that convenience. If you have a question that you need me to answer and you don't see me online, I am here for you. I always have a deck of cards I can always read for you, even when I'm traveling. And it also offers that privacy that a YouTube live stream can't provide if there's something that you don't want on a live stream. So with that, that is my spiel. The donation queue is still open, so whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you so much. Hey Austin, how are you doing today? Divine Lovely. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? I am, absolutely. Yeah, I'm still taking donations. I'm doing okay. I had a bad day at work. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, love. That sucks. Yeah, the job is toxic. I'm sorry to hear that, girl. That sucks. Yeah, that's really difficult. But yeah, the donation queue is currently open. So if you made a donation, you would be read for next, darling. How long have you been at your job, your current job? You met a girl at the pagan meetup the other day. That's awesome, Austin. Late 30s, early 40s. Very cool. Very cool, Austin. we just received a donation from Miss Lovely Wendy. Hey girl, hey. How are you doing today? I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no, I'm doing well. Got my nails done today. We always love nail day. Just waiting for my nails to dry. Wait, did you type that before I mentioned that I got my nails done today? I feel like I said that. I totally said that before I read what you said. That's cray cray. That's cray cray. What color? Divine Lovely, your phone died. Oh no, I'm sorry, honey. You're all good. I'm glad you got it charged up again. All right, love. Thank you. That's so weird, Wendy. We definitely got some connection. That is so funny. Tomato red. Oh, I love that. I think, yeah, my nails were kind of, I'd say, a bit of a tomato red last time. I didn't go as pointy this time. When I tell her to go pointy, she goes way pointy. She makes them like talons. When I prefer like stiletto. So I just went for like a little round, shorter look today, and I was just kind of feeling purple. So I chose amethyst. But red is really the classic. As you've noticed, I usually wear red. It goes with everything. And I don't know if you've noticed, but in Europe, most of the women, like, you know how girls get crazy nails, especially like the younger generation, like Gen Z. Like, awesome. When I say crazy, I mean like really cool, like, you know, super long fake nails, like little dingly doos on them and stuff. That's not a thing in Europe. Like I had long green nails once when I was in Paris, and I felt really out of place. Like nobody else had like alternative nails. Pretty much everyone had like red nails and painted, like you, just painted. Like I need to get gel. I've been painting my nails for years, and they chip all the time. But that's also kind of the allure of it too. Of nail polish is the natural, you know, cracks and stuff. Just something I noticed. Anyway, how can I help you today, Miss Wendy? When I start dating again, what should I be aware of? That's a great question. I got my nails done in Paris. Red. Oh, me too. Me too. I got my nails done in Paris, and I had to communicate with my nail lady using Google Translate. She did a hella good job. She knew exactly what I wanted. She did a lovely, like, short, slightly pointy red. Yeah, she did a wonderful, and it was so cheap too. It was like 30 euros. I was like, wow, that's really good. Alrighty. What should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? Angels, messages, and spirit guide. Girl, I've got so much tea I need to spill with you. Speaking of dating again, I feel stupid about how I handled the same situation, so I need to not repeat. Don't feel stupid. Don't feel stupid, love. I know I can't tell you that because I've been there too, where you feel foolish or you feel stupid or whatever, but you're not. This guy that you were dealing with a damn fool. And thank you so much, Miss Divine Lovely, for your donation. Let me go ahead and add you here. Alright, let's get into this, Wendy. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, what should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, what should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, what should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, what should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, what should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, what should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, what should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, what should Wendy be aware of when she starts dating again? All right, love. Let us see here, and let me move the cards so you can see them better. All right, we have 6 of Wands reversed, 4 of Wands reversed, the Star reversed, 10 of Wands reversed, and Page of Wands reversed. I'm going to need my handy dandy little special black book for this one. This is a lot. That is completely honest. This is very difficult to read. Not just because they're all reversals, but just the context of the question. The card, they are not the cards that I thought would come up at all. Starting with this 6 of Wands reversed. Yeah, the 6 of Wands is failure, lack of achievement, lack of success, a loss. We're asking what you should be aware of when you start dating again. And I think the truth of the matter is that's something that we, and I know you know that, but that's something that we have to take into account and accept that we might lose in love. And when I say lose in love, I don't mean forever. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, as someone who's currently dating right now, I don't date like I used to. I used to really put, and I'm not saying that you put your eggs in one basket, all your eggs in one basket. And I'm not saying that you date like I do, or how I used to. But just personal anecdote real quick, as someone, who's in her 40s and dating, I used to really, really bank on it being a win or a loss and not seeing an in between. Not seeing, just because it doesn't end up in a 4 of Wands union does not necessarily mean that it was a failure or a loss or a defeat. I mean, I'm even thinking of I've dated, I'm not trying to make myself sound like the village bicycle, because when I say I've dated, I don't mean I've slept with, I mean, like, been romantic and gotten to know people. And yeah, obviously, some of them didn't work out. None of them worked out. Look at me, I'm single right now. So if we want to look at it like that, none of them really resulted in a win. But the way that I look at it now is not so much I lost because we didn't end up getting married, or it didn't end up, it didn't end up looking the way or turning out the way I wanted it to, but looking at the relationship as a whole, and recognizing the good in that relationship, even though it didn't work, the bad things too, so that we can be aware of them in the future, and we can recognize those red flags from past experiences. And that's definitely a message I'm getting here too, is with every experience that we have in dating, we gather more information, not just about the person who we're dating, but about ourselves and about what we're ultimately looking for. And I truly believe, it sounds corny, but I truly believe that every connection serves a purpose. Even, I'm going to say something very controversial here. I'd say even abusive relationships, because we learn from those. Doesn't mean that they were good or okay, or that abuse is okay at all. I walked away from it. It was very hard for me, but I endured it for 5 years. You would think that I would be like, I'm done with love after that, but I took a few years off to heal, and I didn't date anyone. I went into hermit mode, and that was around the time I started my channel. And I definitely learned a lot, even from the failed relationships that I've had. They might not all be wins, and you know that. But you should also know that you're not stupid. This is not you. This is not something that you're doing wrong. From everything that I observe, with not just what you tell me, but also in the cards and in your energy, and we talk offline too, you are not someone who dates in an irrational fashion. You're not an irrational person by any means. You're not high maintenance. You're very grounded, and you know what you want. And you're not willing to settle, and you should not settle. And I've probably said this to you before. Something ChatGPT said to me that was really wise. When we're dating and we're selective, it can feel lonely. It can feel lonely. It can feel like it's taking a long time. But that comes back around to what I always say: the best things in life never come to us quickly or easily. And it doesn't mean that we have to go through tons of failed relationships in order to find our Prince Charming, but it is something to take into consideration. I don't take dates as seriously as I used to in the past, and I hope that doesn't sound like depressing or like I've become cynical over the years, but it's more just self-protection. And I kind of get that energy from you as well. Like, we're guarded, but we're not so guarded that we can't be vulnerable enough to let love into our life. And I see this with this 10 of Wands reversed. You do indeed have your boundaries. You absolutely have your boundaries, and you maintain them. And those will definitely serve you. Do not settle. Do not settle. And I can't see you settling. It'll take me a while to open up. Yeah. It takes me a while to open up too. We really need to talk. I'm gonna send you some messages after this. I went on a date with myself last night, and got a lot of thoughts going on, and regarding these things, like, the difficulties that I'm finding now. It was easier for me to open up when I was younger, which goes back to what I'm saying is I was less guarded, and I loved the thrill of falling in love. And looking back at a lot of the dudes I dated, I really wouldn't date any of them again, except for one, and you know who he is. I'm still talking to him. But really, I wouldn't go back to any of them. I look back at it and I'm like, why? Why was I into that guy? And then I'm like, oh, well, because there was kind of just no one else. I was just kind of always in a connection, and I would settle. So I was always really used to, I've always been used to being in a partnership up until the past, like, what, 5, 6, 7 years. Um, so now I've definitely gotten used to it. This star reversed card here, I want a little bit of clarity on this. Yeah, the star reverse is usually indicative of a lack of hope in regards to romance. But what I'm seeing here is something interesting. The challenges that you would normally see as exciting seem instead to make you feel as though you cannot overcome them. And I'm not saying that that's directly connected to you, or that may not even resonate with you. Um, but I think when it comes to dating, I think that's good advice for a lot of folks, because it can feel like work. Like, sometimes it can to me. Um, Establishing first dates, seeing if there's a second date. What comes next after the fourth, fifth date? Is there a certain rule? Um, Personally, I have found that it's hard for me to open up. Um, but it's not about me. We're talking about you. But the star reverse is also indicative of a reminder to not lose hope, to not to it's, I don't want to say it's inevitable that you're going to date duds. That sounds so mean, but it's kind of just the name of the game. For instance, like, I started dating for the first time again last year, and the first guy that I went on a date with, I ended up, you know who he was. And I was like, what the heck? This never happens. Like, the first time I go on a dating app in 5 years, like, I did not, I figured he would be a dud because he was the first guy I went on a date with. But I ended up really liking him. I think he liked me for a little bit. The dating pool is not great. It's no one's fault. Yeah. The dating pool is not great. Honestly, I think the best city, I don't know how great your city is for dating. This city sucks for dating. Girl, I could go on about that. But and even ChatGPT knows it too. Like, it's like not historically, it's like notoriously, like, known as like a bad city to be single. I think New York is probably the best place. LA got voted the worst city to date in the US. Whoa! SF probably got second. When I was in Chicago, I had a lot of success, not just with dating, but also with work. I found a lot of work with modeling, with my modeling career. Some of the best shoots I've ever done were with photographers that I worked with in Chicago. I met some lovely gentlemen in Chicago, lovely ladies, met some homegirls. Chicago's cool. Chicago's got good folks. The thing I like about Chicago is it has that genuine, like, Midwestern. When people ask you, how are you, they really are asking, how are you? But in California, it's just like, hey, hi. It's really vapid and just shallow. But in Chicago, like, you stop and talk to someone. Like, you tell them and you ask them how their day is. But it also has that, of course, it's also a big city. So it's got that cool ass vibe too. I heard Chicago is more grounded. It definitely feels more grounded than most cities I've been in. LA is very that is, yes. That, I think that's a really solid word to define the dating scene. Page of Wands reverse. This is the last card. This Page of Wands reverse. Page of Wands is going forth with vigor and excitement. And I think that lends to this star reverse card here, where it's like, a couple of things. Don't take any one date too seriously, which I don't think you do. But sometimes we do. Sometimes it just ends up happening. And to understand, or just, you're a smart woman, you know this, but just realizing that there might be other losses. There might be other unsuccessful dating And I don't mean to sound like a bummer. I'm just keeping it real. But you will find a winner. You will find a guy, Wendy. There won't be another Samuel situation because every situation is totally unique. But I think these two cards are like, do your best to not look at dating or to not approach dating as like work. I hate to put, yeah, you I thought it, you said it. Yeah. But there's some good ones out there, honey. And you're a 10. You really are. You're an LA 10, girl. IMHO. And maybe my opinion is not, super important, but you're natural, gorgeous, so warm and gregarious. Of course, we've never met in person yet. One day when I go down there, Europe here, we will meet. But yeah, you're warm, you're gregarious, beautiful. You're in touch with your divine feminine. If anything, you're intimidating men. I have no doubt that you do that. And I'm sure you've been told that too. And you know you're a catch. Like, I don't want to use this example, but I mean, just you're like the office hottie. I don't mean to sound degrading by saying that, but you got a lot of admirers, girl. So just feeling like I really betrayed myself. No. How did you betray yourself? Tarot YouTube meetup soon. I wish. That would be so dope. This country is way too big. Like, where would we meet up? I thought about it when I was ordaining the wedding in Ohio. And then I later found out that the tiny town that I was ordaining the wedding in happened to be the same city that Miss Felicia lives in. And we could have gotten a drink together and we could have hung out. And I'm so sad that we are both so sad I missed out on that. I had no idea she lived there. But yeah, a meetup would be so much fun. Someone mentioned LA, because everyone wants to go to LA, and that would be feasible. By giving that weirdo too many chances and disrespecting myself. You didn't disrespect yourself, Wendy. You really didn't. It would be Florida. Oh, yeah, I don't do Florida. I don't do Florida. I used to like Miami a little bit. I don't even like Miami anymore. But the weather's cool. I dig the weather and the wildlife. But Wendy, yes, you gave him chances, but you also didn't completely hinge your entire life on it or your dating existence on him. And you didn't give up your body. Not to shame women who do, but it can be tempting sometimes. He didn't even, he didn't even have that, he was just so closed off. He didn't even present that. But that's also another thing too. You were in not exchanging that, not getting to that level. That really, it may not feel like it now, but it really protected you. We really need to talk offline. There's a whole lot I want to say to you. That I just don't want to ramble on here publicly. But yeah, that's also really, really precious too. I'm not a nun or anything, and I'm not like anti-spicy, but I also do believe that, especially with women, when we if we do get physical with someone, it does ramp up the ante in terms of our feelings. So you protected yourself, love. You did, and you were not foolish in any way. You were hopeful. That's all. And he was just a dud. And he regrets it. I'm telling you. Like, he knows you're a star, and he lost out. And you're very welcome, sweetheart. Much love and light to you. I'm gonna reach out to you later. You don't have to respond. It's all good. But there's just a few thoughts, like specific things I want to share with you. Miss Nicole Nicole, thank you so much for your donation, love. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. Nicole, Divine Lovely, please come to the chat. Thank you. Miss Nicole. There she is. Why were the nurses being so mean and nasty, including different higher ups in an email about my chart? Ew, I'm sorry, girl. That's the worst. Sorry, 1 second. When medical personnel, medical professionals are, excuse me, when medical professionals are not behaving professionally, not behaving warmly, compassionately, it's happened to me. I'm not dismissing you by saying, "Oh, it's happened to me. It happens to everyone." No way. I'm empathizing with you. Yeah, it has for sure happened to me. All right, love. And what's your excuse me? What is your sign again, love? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why were Nicole's nurses being so weird towards her regarding her chart? Felt like Mean Girls, and it was a system error, not me. They said my chart was a mess and noted care coaches needing to be coached. Gemini. Oh, I love Geminis. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why were Nicole's nurses being so rude to her regarding her chart? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why were Nicole's nurses being so rude towards her regarding her chart? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why were Nicole's nurses and medical personnel being so rude towards her regarding her chart? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why were Nicole's nurses and medical personnel being so rude towards her regarding her chart? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why were Nicole's nurses and medical personnel acting so rude towards her regarding her chart? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why were Nicole's nurses and medical personnel acting so mean and rude towards her regarding her chart? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why were Nicole's nurses and medical personnel acting so weird and mean towards her regarding her chart? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Nicole's nurses and medical personnel act so rude regarding her chart? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Nicole's nurses and medical personnel act so rude towards her regarding her chart? We do wellness calls to members and then document, but get paid half of what the nurses make. That sucks. Are you on track to become a nurse, or what do you do? All right, girl. We got the Empress, Temperance reversed, Three of Cups reversed, Hermit, and Ace of Pentacles. I always get 100% on my documentation and never needed a remediation. Oh, okay, so this is regarding your actual physical health. This is regarding work. Okay, I hear you loud and clear. So there is absolutely an energy of arrogance that I'm picking up very heavily here, with both the first card and the last card here, the Empress and this Ace of Pentacles. Sometimes I wonder, because I had a very bad experience not too long ago with medical personnel that honestly I probably could have taken legal action, but I didn't. It wasn't that bad, but it was not okay the way I was spoken to and treated. And I wondered to myself, they were about my age, maybe a little younger. There was one nurse that was really sweet. This gay guy, super sweet, like by my side, super legit. The rest of them were very just arrogant and dismissive. And I wondered to myself, people get into the medical industry because y'all want to care. Not that you want to care, is that you have that caregiving energy within you. It's natural. But I often wonder if, well, I don't wonder, I know for a fact, of course, there are people who work in the medical industry where that is not the case. They became nurses or medical personnel because it is good money, and it's hard work. It's not easy. But there's also lots of room for growth and upward mobility. So just like with any job in this world, there are people whose hearts are not 100% in it. And that's very much the energy I'm getting from these, what I call them, I don't know if I'd call them coworkers of yours, but very, very judgmental, not in a personal sense. It's nothing personal. I want to hammer that home. It's nothing personal. They don't think like, oh, Nicole's incompetent, or Nicole, is this, that, and the other. It was something that they noticed, and you said that they claimed that it was an error that you made, but the truth is that it was a technical error. Is what I'm hearing, understanding. So there's for sure a misunderstanding there, and with misunderstandings, there's also distrust, mistrust. I don't know how well they know you, but it looks, I don't want to say it looks better for them to say that you made a mistake, as opposed to it was just a technical error. But there is this energy of superiority that I am picking up on, and I don't know how long. I get the sense that they've been working their jobs for quite a while. There's definitely, with the Hermit card here, there's definitely an energy of seniority. And yeah, with this Three of Cups reversed, this is definitely highlighting the, I don't know if I want to call it a misunderstanding so much as a disbelief. They're not believing your truth, that you didn't screw up, you did this right. So my answer as to why they were so difficult with you is not, again, it's not a personal attack. And I don't know how long you've worked there, but there's also, I'm also picking up, the first word I think I said was arrogance. It sounds like they work above you, and if they don't work above you, you told me that they get paid more than you, right? We do wellness calls to members and then document, but get paid half of what the nurses make. Yeah, that's part of this arrogance that I'm seeing and sensing here energetically. Not personal. I think they despise the care coaches. That's what I'm picking up, girl. That's what I'm picking up. And I think despise is a strong word to use there. But there is absolutely a prejudice against not just you. I don't know if you've talked to other colleagues of yours. I'm sure they've experienced similar things. I wouldn't be surprised. Or not even colleagues of yours, but other care coaches, which is really, really gross. When you popped onto my channel, earlier, one of the first things you said was you had a bad day at work. It's a really toxic environment. The health plan came up with the idea to hire care coaches to do the wellness calls instead of the nurses to save money. Gotcha. It's all about the bottom dollar. It's Ace of Pentacles. When it comes to the nurses and that dynamic, the money dynamic, I'm still standing firmly with not all of them, but because not everybody, thinks exactly the same. We got a group of 10, 15, 20 people. Not everyone's going to be on the exact same page. But from the energy that I'm picking up here and what you're telling me, it sounds like a vast majority of them do have this arrogance about them, a superiority complex, like they're beneath us, we're up here, we've earned our flowers as nurses. They mentioned care coaches several times in the email thread, and they kept adding more people to the email thread. That's really unprofessional. That's really unprofessional. Oh my God, when people add on to email threads over and over and you're just getting popped with bing, 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 and there's people getting involved that aren't, or people that are being exposed to this that aren't even involved, that's so unprofessional. That's low-key HR reportable. Very tactless. Yes. Yeah. Excellent adjective there. Very there's no sense in that. There's no tact. So yeah, it's, as you know, it's nothing personal. It's a but they are prejudiced. Yeah, it's like all care coaches. They're just like, they roll their eyes. And I'm so sorry, because you're doing such good work. You're doing God's work. You're taking care of people. You're doing wellness checks. You're doing the work of nurses and not even getting paid what they would get paid. Making sacrifices to help others, to help yourself. That is very, very noble. And circling back to what I was rambling about at the very beginning, I was like, I always believed that all nurses and doctors and healthcare workers did it because they had a calling. Because it's hard work. It's hard work, as you know. But sadly, yeah, the more medical experiences I've had, and friends too. And I have a client of mine who's a nurse, and she's done. She's so sad about that. She's like, I really felt a calling. And I'm not, this doesn't sound like you. You sound like you're like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you do like your job, and you're good at what you do. You don't want to switch jobs. That's not the energy I get. I really get like healer energy from you. It got so bad, they fired half the nurses and kept on most of the care coaches. Yeah, shaking my head too. Was this was this around the budget cut times, which are still happening? When did this all happen? With the when they fired half the nurses. That's crazy. I love talking to the members, but the job is toxic and the system keeps messing up the charts. Girl, I feel, yeah, my other job is similar too. We I don't know about you, but my other job is pretty solitary. So when I do get to meet up with my colleagues, it's really nice to hear how they approach the job, how they approach the work. But then sometimes we end up just talking only about work, and it's like, now I'm just in this cycle of talking about, the toxicity and the drama. Yeah, budget cut time. Yeah. Ugh. Well, does that mean more work for you, though? Because you're a care coach? And are you interested in becoming a nurse? have you looked? Are you like, hey, I don't know, like I've observed, and I'm cool. Because I think that's another thing too. A lot with a lot of, well, any job, but with a lot of nurses, like, you know, you're not actually in a hospital until you're actually, you know, doing your internships and whatnot. And it's very different being in that environment as opposed to like thinking about it. They tell us to educate the members by articles instead of offhand like the nurses, but we do the same thing. As if they don't trust you. Like they get, so you have the authority to educate them, but strictly through articles and not just through your own knowledge. I'd rather do Reiki and tarot, but this pays the bills. I hear you, girl. I hear you. There's definitely ways to expand in the Oombi Goombi sector, as I call it, my other job. But yeah, to pay the bills, I have to have another job. This is not the only one. And I also want to start doing this, especially as the weather's getting nicer. I want to start going to like festivals and like doing in person. My girl Wendy, who I just read for, she encouraged me to do that the other night, and I'm kind of inspired now. And Reiki, you can make some serious bank from Reiki, girlfriend. It's a wraparound for the insurer to be compliant. Oh, gotcha. But by having us use articles, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. That's petty. That's petty as hell. Yeah, and art. There's like, so yeah. My girl Wendy was at an art walk. She lives in Southern California, and I live in the Bay Area, and we have hella art. I mean, I work in the arts. It's my other job. We have hella of art walks and festivals, and I don't know if I need. I do believe I have to get a license in the city of San Francisco if I want to just set up a table and start reading. I do need to have a license from the city of San Francisco, but I think if I'm at like an event that's like super crowded, the cops aren't focusing on some girl reading cards. You know what I mean? Like they're focusing on keeping everything safe. I should hope. I had sold teas at a festival before, and it felt so freeing. That's cool because it's the one-on-one connection, and it's so different when I read for folks in person, which is how I started. I mean, I've been reading since before the internet was invented. No, I'm just joking. I'm not that old. But the internet was invented, I don't know what year, but I remember we got the internet when I was about 3 years old. It was very basic. But anyway, yeah, so I used to read for people in person. That's what I always did. And then I started doing it online. I was so scared because I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to connect to people online, remotely. And oh my God, it's almost clearer in a strange way. The only difference that breaks my heart is if it's a sad message. I've made people cry, for sure. Not like not like they're mad at me and they hate me, but like I'll say something that's sad, and sometimes I start crying with them. Got to keep myself together, you know. Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine who also reads tarot, and that's what she said. She's like, but you got to see the tears when it's in person. That's the hard part. But also, I could sell crystals and whatnot. I've got a whole slew of crystals. I stocked up on crystals last time I was in Mexico City. They're hella cheap there. Indeed, it's so healing. Yeah, yes, the one-on-one. I don't know where you live, and you don't have to tell me. I'm not here to dox you. I live in San Francisco, and so I don't know if you live in a major city or not, but I've noticed this in all major cities. Like there's one even down the street from me. There's always tarot reader shops, like in every neighborhood of San Francisco, at least one, usually 3 or 4, and they're always closed. I am convinced they're all fronts. One night I was out with my ex-friend, we're not friends anymore, but we were friends at the time, and we were out, having fun, drinking. Small city, okay. Yeah, I was out with my ex-buddy, and we actually met on here. He was a client of mine. We're no longer friends. We're not going to get into that. But anyway, we were out in the city, just going to bars, having fun, walking around, summer night, and we saw a tarot place that was open, and he was just like, "Girl, like, let's go." I was like, "Seriously?" Like, and it was like 11 at night, and he was like, "Yeah, let's just do it." I'm like, "Okay, let's check it out. Like, I want to see." And we went, and this girl came down in her pajamas and was just like, "Do you want a reading? Or what are you looking?" No, she was like really like sketch. She was like, "What are you looking for?" And we were like, like a tarot reading." And she was like, "Come back in an hour." And this was like 11 o'clock at night. We were like, "Whoa, I don't know." Yeah, all I'm gonna say is there. Yeah, I rarely see those places open. Prime real estate in San Francisco, like that, the rent cannot be cheap. Um, my theory is they're fronts. You're in Florida too, being a channel for the message to come through. Thank you for reading for us all. You are so welcome, girl. And I'm sorry I ramble a lot, but you are so welcome, and I love reading. I love reading for you, and love reading for everyone. I really do. And thank you so much. Thank you so much again, love, for your donation. So the donation queue is once again open. If you have a question, please go ahead and send your donation, and I would be more than happy to read for you. Thank you. You're getting a CAT scan tomorrow. Good luck. Good luck with and that's with the ENT, your nose throat doctor. I really hope that they can figure out everything that's going on and get a good treatment plan for you. Oh no, dude, I'm hella sorry. That sucks. That happened to me the other day, or on Saturday. Female stuff. Nothing I can do about it. But yeah, I couldn't stand up. I couldn't see. I had plans to hang out with my friend. I had to cancel. I felt really bad. But I was really not well. But the CAT scan should be really effective, I think. Your phone died. Oh no, girl. Is the battery weird? What's going on? You are so welcome, sweetheart. You're very welcome. I hope I brought you clarity, and I hope that resonated. Sorry, and then I started babbling about reading in person. But yeah, no, it's definitely, it's a very different experience, and it's very, very delightful. Yeah, where are you reading in person? At tarot meetup groups. Very cool. So you guys read for each other? That's cool. Well, hello, Matt. Thank you so much for your donate. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you, thank you. How can I help you on this fine Tuesday, my friend? Oh dear, that's a lot. Is today your day off? Hard work, but money, 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 money. Ooh. An OG reading on Brooklyn and you don't know her sign. Saul Goodman. Alright, angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? I turned around and opened today. Yeah, the money is nice. Yeah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Brooklyn's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Matt? Brooklyn is a server where I work. She meowed at me today. Oy vey. Are you a server as well? We have Three of Pentacles reversed, King of Swords reversed, Four of Wands reversed, the High Priestess reversed, Two of Swords reversed. I wolfed back at her. King of Cups reversed, the Wheel of Fortune, Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, the Hanged Man reversed, Queen of Swords reversed, Three of Swords reversed, Justice, Two of Cups reversed, and Ace of Cups. Okay. How old is she? I'm not. I kind of do everything there. Keith, one of the managers, said today we don't deserve you. Aww. That's that's a nice compliment. It's kind. I see that as a compliment. Like, yeah. Are you? Did you have you asked to be a server, or but are you just kind of like you're more like jack of all trades, like all kind of just take care of what needs to be taken care of. Honestly, that sounds a lot more interesting. She's young. I got that. I got that vibe. I got that vibe. She's a complicated, confused young woman. We'll start with your current energies. We have the Three of Pentacles reversed, King of Cups reversed, and the Queen of Swords reversed. This first card caught my attention. You're more jack of all trades, and I think that's honestly more interesting. Starting with, and she's interesting. Yeah, I get that vibe for sure. The girl meows. She sounds fun. She sounds cool. But starting with your general energies, we have this Three of Pentacles reversed, King of Cups reversed, and Queen of Swords reversed. So tell me if this is resonating, but the fact that the two of you work together, adds a little bit of difficult to calibrate energy to the situation. If I'm putting that correct, if I'm wording that correctly, but I mean, you know how it is, dating, possibly dating, or even dating a coworker. I don't know if you have before. I haven't. I've seen coworkers date before, and I've seen them get married. I saw one couple get married, and I've seen many couples breaking up, and they still have to work together, and they still got to see each other every day, and that can be a real pisser. To put it elegantly, the coworker vibe is an issue with a few servers there. Yeah, and then we have both the King of Cups reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed. These are very specific cards. I mean, all cards are specific, but these are two of the most, I don't want to say powerful court cards, but the King of Cups is definitely my favorite court card. But the King of Cups reversed is, as I said earlier, the fact that the dynamic that you guys work together, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not preferable, and it does add some wonkiness to the general energy and your equilibrium as a human being and working. I'm not saying that she's affecting you and you're unable to do your work by any means, because you slay all day, whether you woof or meow. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I do feel like part of you is, if she is interested in you and you guys do start dating, I think there is a reservation, in a fear in you that's like, that does hold, that does recognize and acknowledge that reality. Sorry, you just typed something. I think I told you that I got lectured by a server last year because I wasn't paying attention to her. You did. I do. I remember that. That was cray-cray. Why you gotta be acting cray-cray, girl? That was cray-cray. That woman was just nutso. And speaking of which, that might be part of what this Queen of Swords reversed energy is with you, my friend. I don't want to say you've been here before, but let's be real. Women like you, and women have expressed that in front of everyone. Oh, geez, man. Women have expressed that to you, sometimes in more direct ways than others. But if I'm not mistaken, in almost every job that you've had, there's been a woman who she had her eye on you. And for whatever. Like, I remember there was that one lady that I think that was into you when you were working at the Dollar General, and I was like, she's trouble. She's looking for a daddy for her kid. She have you heard of that movie Obsessed? Sorry to be so ADD, but I went and saw that movie Obsessed last night. So good. It's a horror movie, and I went to see it because one of my clients is dealing with someone who's literally obsessed with her. And I remember she was like, "Oh, like obsessed in a good way," and I was like, "Girl, there is no good way with obsession. It's not good. Obsession's unhealthy desire." And you have experienced that. Let's be real. You've experienced that in your work life. You've experienced that in your personal life. More than you should have. And Queen of Swords is bitterness, but it's also fear, a slight fear, and not fear, I don't want to say fear, but just a hesitancy to move forward based on past experiences, not wanting past experiences to repeat themselves. Her general energies, we've got the Two of Swords reversed, the Hangman reversed, and the Ace of Cups. This girl's very, very confusing. The Two of Swords reversed is confusion, essentially. It's exhausting sometimes. Yeah, I bet. I don't have that issue. I'm really, well, I've had dudes like be inappropriate, and I've like been like, bye, bitch, boom, bye. It's easy for me to do that if because I don't get invested quickly or easily anymore. And yeah, I was talking to one guy like back in January, and he was crazy. So I blocked him, and he was texting me from other numbers, calling me from other numbers, saying he was going to expose my criminal background, which I can't have, because I mean I've been to jail like 6 times, so like I can't have it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. No, that he was crazy. I have never been to jail. I've never been arrested, and he kept on saying he was going to expose my criminal. He didn't even know my name, so he was like obsessed with me. He didn't even know me. That was the most. That was like the only time I've experienced that. Oh, and then there was my ex when I was in my 20s. I broke up with him, and he was leaving notes on my car and shit. I was like, you do that again, I'm filing a restraining order. Like, don't fuck with me. I wear my boots for a reason. I wear my Doc Martens every day for a reason. A swift kick in a certain area, and you down, man. Anyway, so I'm sorry that you've had to deal with these obsessive ladies. And I'm not saying that that Brooklyn is obsessive, but I told you from the very beginning, the energy that I'm getting is like, whoa, like just she's a very confusing, difficult to read person. Two of Swords reversed is arguably one of the most difficult cards for me to read, next to the High Priestess reversed and the Moon reversed. We don't have the Moon reversed here, but the Two of Swords reversed, I always need extra clarity on, because it really is just a card of confusion. In its upright position, it's confusion. In its reverse position, it's like just way too much information going on in her life. I do think she may have quite a few suitors. But I don't think she's gone forward with like any of them. She works a lot, doesn't she? I don't think she's gone forward with any of her suitors for a while. With the Hangman reverse, she's been in suspension. She's been stuck for a while, and this could be a choice of hers to be single. Because I am very much getting lone wolf vibes. Definitely getting attraction. She is into you. This Ace of Cups here. She does have affection for you, 100%. I'm gonna keep it real, Matt. I would never meow at a dude who I wasn't attracted to, unless it was a gay guy friend. Then I'd like it. But I would only do that to a man I was attracted to. You can read that shit. you're smart. You're no naive man. Her thoughts towards you. We have the king. I get air vibes from her for sure. I would be very surprised if she wasn't an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. And we have a lot of a lot of Aquarius and Libra cards here. Starting with this King of Swords reversed. She is very in a deep place of confusion. Yeah, she sounds adorable, dude. That's hella cute. And it was definitely flirtatious. Like that. At least I would never do that unless I was into a guy. Or unless we had a hella deep friendship and that was like one of our things, But if it was my coworker, yeah, no, that's definitely a cat. That's literally a cat call, dude. You literally got cat called today, bro. That's so funny. But yeah, back to her confusing ass state of mind. She's not messed up. She's not a messed up girl. I like her. I like her energy a lot. She strikes me as the type of girl I would likely want to be friends with. She seems really cool. She's got cool ass energy. Very chaotic though, which is why I thought she was so young. There's a lot going on in her life. A lot of different paths that she would like to take. And she is, while she is in a state of suspension when it comes to her love life, I do feel like she very much moves forward and keeps the gears turning when it comes to making money and her overall like goals and career goals in life and life goals in general. She does think about you a lot, dude. That's also part of this King of Swords reversed. You are on her mind, and she doesn't quite know what to do with it. Yeah, super chaotic. She's a spunky girly girl. Yeah, that's the vibe I get. She's young. She's got a lot of she's a spicy girl. Not that way, but yeah, spunky. She's got chutzpah. She's got dreams and a lot of energy. She goes forward. She's also really, really afraid of getting hurt. This Three of Swords reversed. I think that's probably there. I think the two main reasons why she hasn't dated in a very long time, and by very long time I mean like young person times. Like she probably hasn't had a boyfriend in maybe like a year, I would say. She pops up in your thoughts too. Yeah. I don't think she's dated someone for a while. The last guy she dated really hurt her because she's got a real fear of getting hurt. Like adamantly refusing to put herself in a position where she could possibly get hurt in the way that she got hurt in the past. And the other reason is also she wants to focus on her life, her growth and development as a young woman. Her feelings, we have the Four of Wands reversed, the Four of Pentacles, and Justice. Yeah, she's not looking, she doesn't feel like a union is good for her at this time. And I don't know her entire life, but just picking up on her energy, as much as I love the idea of the two of you having something together, I also kind of see where she's coming from. It's not a you thing. Trust and believe. It is not a you thing. Like, I would tell you if it was like she's into another guy. It's not that. It's not that at all. She's really into you, but she's one of the few women. I will be honest. I see men do this a lot, but I don't see women do it as often. I've got a few clients who eschew dating for the time being in order to focus on their lives and their development. And that's really where she's at. And it's not permanent, but she is really focused on the end goal here. I think she may have a situationship with this dude server there. I was going to say there might be something sexual. But she always, I really do think she's an Aquarius. I do think she's an air sign. Because she does have that ability, and this High Priestess reverse, she has this ability to separate her emotions from her physical desire. Wish I could do that. Leaves me a very lonely Jewish nun. I can't get my emotions effed with like that. Crux card, we have this Four of Pentacles. Yeah, she feels like she really needs to focus on her pentacles, on her development, her growth, the path that she's on. But she does hold you dearly, and one moment, I just want a little bit of clarity with this. Yeah, that's right. With this Justice card, she firmly does not want to hurt you. She's like, she does not want to be a tease. She does not want to lead you on. She enjoys flirting with you because she likes you. She thinks you're cute and she likes you. She has affection for you. I see it. I feel it. But hell if she doesn't want to hurt you. Three of Swords reversed, Justice, and part of that comes from her pain as well. Yeah, she's chosen. The High Priestess reverse is very much a Lone Ranger card, and especially when it comes to her intentions. Two things here: striking out on one's own. She may have a situationship going on with one of the guys there, but trust and believe it's certainly not going to result in wedding bells, and they're not boyfriend and girlfriend. I would be very surprised if they were, because I see a very resolute defiance against succumbing to love. And that's also part of this Hangman reversed. She's not fully allowing herself to be like fully vulnerable, because she knows that if she does, she can get hurt. So she's chosen to do her best to separate her heart from her mind. Really picking up Aquarius energy from her here, because damn, that's hard to do. Men have an easier time doing it than women, I feel. I think air signs in general just have an easier time doing that. Like I did that for 4 years. I didn't date anyone. I just focused on building my channel, working, growing, focusing on me. And that's very much her energy here. Striking out on her own, separating her heart from her mind, her logic. Five of Pentacles, staying alone. But still within the warmth of sanctuary. She really likes working where you guys work, and enjoys working with you a lot. She really enjoys the flirtation. But she is resolute against romance with this Two of Cups reversed. Or she's resolute against, partnership that would lead to something committed and consistent that could possibly end up hurting her. She doesn't have she feels as though she does not have the emotional strength and wherewithal to go through another heartache, to go through another disappointment, which is very youthful energy. Because the truth of the matter is, if you're going to date, you might get hurt. That was the first reading I did tonight. It's just a fact of life. That's the wisdom of the Fool card, is taking that leap of faith, knowing that you might get hurt. But if you don't ever move forward, you won't get hurt. You'll stay safe in your comfort bubble, but you also won't find love. So I do feel like this is a temporary thing. I don't feel like she's sworn off love forever. But when it comes to you, yeah, she's very attracted to you, really likes working with you. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, yeah, and that's, it is what it is. And I have no judgment when it comes to age gaps. I've dated people twice my age. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I know there can be issues, but there are also a lot of benefits too. Um, I think with both parties. Um, and I also think it's sad that women are so demonized for dating younger guys. I met a guy, a 25-year-old, and he asked for my number, so I gave it to him. He was a sweetie. But I'm old enough to be his mom. And he wanted to, like, take me out, and I feel badly because I never responded to his text. I should at least respond and be like, oh, I was busy. I don't know. But I don't know. Ashton Kutcher was 25 when he married Demi Moore, and she got hella shit. And that's Demi Moore. But I like being meowed at. Yeah, yeah. I'll be honest with you too, Matt. I don't think she's gonna be there. I don't think she's gonna be in. You're in Bismarck, right? South or North Dakota? I forget which one. I think you're in South. I don't think she's gonna be there for very long. I think that's part of her dreams. Is I think that she wants to leave. Um, So yeah, what I'm seeing here is a really really cute and genuine work crush, um, and they're fun. They honestly, I have had work crushes. I've never dated someone that I've worked with, as I said, but I've definitely had work crushes, and they are fun. They keep you on your toes. They keep north. Okay, sorry about that. Um, they keep you on your toes. These fun crushes at work. Work is work. It can be freaking boring as hell, and hard and difficult. And when you have someone delightful to flirt with, and people, good energy, it's in a non-toxic environment. It really makes the whole experience a lot better. Um, and it's also not to say that it's totally impossible that nothing will happen between the two of you. This is just current energies, and she seems very, very not flighty, but definitely malleable. Like, especially when you're younger too. I feel like it's she's still in the process where she's changing, and like her boundaries, and not boundaries, but like her ideals will change over time, her goals will change over time. I'd be surprised if she stayed in Bismarck. I would too. I really don't think she's gonna stay. Has she? Is she like college age, or did she graduate from college, and or do you? How much do you know about her? Sorry, now I'm getting all nosy. Is she from there? Did she grow up in Bismarck? Because I wonder if she's thinking about school possibly. She's college age and she's from here. Okay, because yeah, like I just said, I get the feeling she might be thinking about school, not not specifically college, but perhaps like a training school of some type, or college. But I do feel like that is, we didn't see any of the pages, I'll be honest, but I get that energy. She went to high school with some of the line cooks we talked. Okay, okay, so she's a Bismarck girl. Okay, she's a hometown girl. Went to school with some of the cooks. She knows folks. Um, yeah, even though she's from there, I get the sense that she's gonna fly. School's usually the best and easiest way to do that. It's an investment. You but at the very least, definitely keeps things interesting at work, and yeah, just get to know each other better, and keep on meowing and woofing. I really want to know what her sign is. Now that's what I want to know. Wonder how we would figure that out without seeming sneaky. I ask I can't even help it. Like, if I go on a date with someone, usually the third question I ask before even what are you looking for in dating is what's your sign? When's your birthday? Are you a Gemini, a Leo, or an Aquarius? Because you're one of the three. I'm not even joking. That happens all the time. I enjoy being around her. She's fun. She's good energy. I feel it in the card. She's good ass energy. She's a good girl. Um, she's a good girl. Loves her mama. Loves Jesus. Elvis too. 'Cause she's free. Free falling. I was singing that song earlier today. You could, yeah, it wouldn't be that weird. In fact, she might be into astrology, and you guys could talk about that. I'm sure you guys chit chat. You're chatty Chesterton, chatty Charles. Yeah, I would just ask. Wouldn't that be a cool conversation to have? And yeah, open up the astrology door there. She seems like the type to be into it. We chit chat every day, every time we have a shift together. Right on. Yeah, I get that vibe too. I get that vibe too that she would definitely be into that. Yeah. Not well, I don't want to say definitely, but I get that vibe. And I'm not just saying that cuz most girls are into astrology. That is part of it. Um, but I do genuinely think that she would be interested in talking astrology. Well, thank you so much, Matt. Much love and light to you. And yes, she likes you. She likes you. So, okay, I've been on for about 2.5 hours. So we're gonna do a last call tonight for any and all donations. If you have a question that you would like me to answer for you this evening, I am here for you. I want to show y'all a crystal that my mommy gave me. So y'all know what kyanite looks like, right? Um, oh, I have a piece, but it's like not with me. It's normally spiky kyanite, blue kyanite. But my mom gave me a tumbled piece of kyanite, blue kyanite, and I just think it's so beautiful and it feels so soft. And I just love the color too. You're so welcome, Matt. You are so welcome. Thank you. Much love and light to you. Last call, everybody, for any and all donations. Thank you. If you would like a reading tonight, now would be the time to ask. Thank you so much. Last call, everybody. Last call for any and all donations. Thank you. Last call tonight for all donations. Thank you. Last call tonight for any and all donations. Thank you. Last call tonight for all donations. Thank you. All right, looks like everyone is happy and satiated and taken care of. Thank you all so very much, and I will see y'all again soon. Good night.